Hey folks, this is Lee Griffin here. I'm a committee member of the Southeast Lean Network. Today we're launching a new series where we're going to do a set of interview questions with various Lean practitioners in the Southeast. I'm delighted today to have Noel Hennessy join us to kick off our series. Thank you, Noel.
Well, thank you, Lee. I mean, the Southeast Lean Forum has been a brilliant, just been brilliant. I mean, I've learned so much from it over, I'm not sure how long it's going, it's possibly 20 years, it's going that long and that, you know what I mean? And it's just a brilliant network of like-minded people who are there to share their journey, their lean journey, works and all and that. Look, and again, I'm just delighted that I can share my story.
Excellent. You ready for 12 questions?
Why not?
Excellent. Hey Noel, could you introduce yourself to those that don't know you?
Certainly, Lee. Hi folks, my name is Noel Hennessy. I'm a local guy who lives out near the Ann Valley in Dunhill. Spent most of my life working around here. 7 years ago I started up my own company, my own lean consultancy called Practical Lean Solutions. And I guess one of the reasons I'm here is to celebrate the fact that 2 years ago I co-authored a book about the human aspects of lean called Human Lean, which has recently picked up a Shingo publication award.
Noel, what was your first exposure to lean in the workplace?
I think it would have been in mid-2001 was the very first time Lee that actually heard the term lean manufacturing. And to be honest about it, I hadn't a clue, and then when I started asking questions, I was told it was all about efficiency and stuff like that, you know. I was a bit, you know, I was a bit unsure because as far as I was concerned, at this stage I'm down in Lake Region, I think, God, we're a very efficient company. But like literally within a few weeks' time, my thinking had flipped overnight in that. Like a couple of lean consultants come in, taught us some very basic lean tools and principles and stuff like that, and suddenly we were seeing 30, 40, 50% improvements in efficiency, you know what I mean? Incredible stuff, like, you know.
Noel, what motivated you to go and study and pursue qualifications in this area?
What really motivated me wasn't about getting the qualifications, really. It was about jobs. I mean, it was about sustaining jobs, growing jobs. I mean, that's what it was about. Like, once we got exposed to lean and we could see the power of it, and again, we were an original equipment manufacturer. I mean, we were facing competition from Mexico and other low-cost economies and stuff like that. So it was really about learning. Now, don't get me wrong, I was absolutely thrilled. A little bit apprehensive, I have to say, when I got the chance of going off and pursuing my lean master, because believe it or not, I don't actually have a leaving, like, you know what I mean? And then that led on, I suppose I got the bug, you know, and then a few years later I actually went to the WIT and I'd done a doctorate, you know what I mean? And the doctorate was all about the connection between continuous improvement and employee engagement, something again which we've covered in the book.
Congratulations on the book. Tell me how it came about.
How it came about? Well, I first came across John Buscino, the brilliant Professor John Buscino, in 2003 when I started his Lean Masters course in Cardiff. And we met at various conferences over the years and that. And he always said, look, Noel, when I retire from teaching, he said, we have to collaborate on the book. And he knew that I was very passionate about the people aspect of lean, that all the lean tools and systems in the world are useless if people don't want to get engaged for whatever reason in that, you know. So then COVID provided that opportunity, and it was just a brilliant chance to work alongside a guru, because that's what he is, you know. I mean, he's up there with Womack and Jones and all these people. It's a fabulous, lovely man.
Who would you say the target audience is for your book?
That's a great question. Now, some of the people will be familiar with a book called The Lean Toolbox that John wrote, I would imagine about 20 years ago, and that, you know, very much a reference book. And this is a companion book to that, you know what I mean? Because again, as the name implies, it's all about the human aspects of lean. The way we've written it is that we introduce subjects and we will give, so for argument's sake, if it's about engagement or if it's about problem solving, we look at the most popular models, you know what I mean, and we'll give the reader, we feel, enough of an insight to be able to go off and start working on this, but at the same time we're giving them the references if they need to dig deeper. And I think in total we've referenced about 250 books, articles, journals.
No, I just want to ask you a few questions from some of the chapters in the book that I read myself, and innovation features prominently. So how can people generate more time to spend on innovation?
I guess ultimately, Lee, it's down to the organisation, it's down to the individual manager to free up time, because people, it's natural, it's in all of us, you know what I mean? We want to improve, even as a small child, we want to understand, we want to make things better and that, like, you know. So, but again, it's a philosophy. I think you need a manager, you need an organisation to say, well look, let's give people some time to think, you know what I mean?
You have a great quote in the book: employees' needs must be understood, not assumed. Where did you come across that most in your experience?
I was very fortunately to work with some fabulous leaders, you know, and one of the things I noticed was that they were really focused on getting the best out of people rather than the most, you know what I mean? They gave them opportunities to learn and to grow, you know what I mean? I think it's fair to say that in my experience, before people can really believe in themselves, they need somebody else that they respect and they trust to believe in them. And I would say in all of the promotions I went for, it was always the leader that said, Noel, have you considered going for that? And look, I think you'll do a good job and I'm there to support you in that, you know. So as I say, I was very fortunate to work with some great people.
As someone who does a lot of coaching myself, the concept of appreciative inquiry, it's a really powerful tool. How can leaders not trained in this way start practicing it in their day-to-day?
That's another great question, Lee. Yeah, I understand that how important it is, because I think what you have to do really as a leader, you have to assume good intent, you know, and in fairness, most of the people I've met, you know, by and large, they all want to do a good job, you know what I mean? They want to do that, they want to please their boss and that, you know. I think it's probably when the relationship is new that it's most important, because, you know, you can understand that person is new in a position, they've got a new boss, and they feel very vulnerable, you know. The last thing they want to do is feel, oh flip, after I go into that interview and telling you I'm a great guy and I can do all this stuff, suddenly here I'm struggling, you know what I mean? So to me it's about having a boss who has that emotional intelligence to say, you know what, Lee is struggling here, you know, and that, and I need to understand why, you know. And look, and the good thing about this is that if you can, leaders who tap into that, you know what I mean, they'll get it back tenfold, you know what I mean? They're building a bond with that person, and you know what, they'll go through the wall for you.
Idea generation is a lovely section in the book. What's the cheapest and simplest way that you've seen it implemented?
Again, an awful lot of it goes back to just good leaders, and again, I'm talking about leaders at every level. It can be a team leader on the shop floor or whatever. Just talk to somebody, you know what I mean? When somebody has a problem, just kind of just say, well, okay, yeah, I understand. What do you think yourself like? You know what I mean? What would you do? And by all means then, I mean, it's nice to have a formal system where, you know, we could submit ideas and maybe there's rewards, or there's a draw for whatever, mugs once a quarter and that, you know what I mean? But to me, the most important one is just that connection, you know what I mean? To encourage people, well look, it's your, you know it better than I do, Lee, you know what I mean? What would you suggest?
Psychological safety has become a huge topic in a number of industries, and I know personally that Amy Edmondson's book was mandatory reading for managers in my own group. How does a safe environment help in a lean transformation?
I'd even put it strongly. I would say that in the absence of psychological safety, a lean transformation is not going to happen. You know, because people are going to be worried about their employment, you know, they're going to be worried that, you know, it might be used as a stick to beat them with and that, like, you know. So psychological safety is paramount, and again, it's about leaders who are having open discussions with people. And I think again, like, it goes back to that element of trust, you know, and it's kind of before people make a judgment on your decisions, they'll make a judgment on you. Am I comfortable? Is Lee a guy that I know is going to look after my best interests? And I know he has to look after the company's best interests as well, like, you know. And people, you know, people nowadays, like, they're bright, they're intelligent, they understand there's factors there, there's kind of a global economy, there's all these challenges and stuff like that, like, you know. But to me, psychological safety is paramount, like, you know what I mean, if you want to bring people with you. And you have to bring people with you because you can't do it without it.
Someone with no formal training but has been exposed to lean in their day-to-day, what's their path forward to start building more knowledge and awareness?
Great question, and God, I think of so many people that I worked with, and again, I would have been in that position myself in that, like, you know, well, the good thing about lean is you can apply it at home, you know. I would guard people about bringing it into the kitchen, you know, and absolutely on that front and that. But in terms of learning, I mean, there's never been a better time to learn. You know, you can go into the, you know, you just Google lean. There's brilliant videos on YouTube. There's a fabulous one there about, I think it was Hurricane Katrina, and the Toyota guys going in to help people distribute food and stuff like that. And that go to your boss, you know, say, I'm interested in this stuff. Are you running problem solving? Are you running yellow belts? Are you running white belts? Reach out to myself by all means, you know what I mean? You'll find within the lean community that we're brilliant at helping one another, encouraging one another and stuff like that. And look, there's an army of stuff out there between books, videos, courses and that. Get involved in the Southeast Lean Network, that's what I would say.
Last question. There's a massive disruptor coming with artificial intelligence and particularly generative AI. How do you see that fitting into a lean organisation?
Good question, Lee. Look, and I don't know an awful lot about artificial intelligence and stuff like that, but to me, you really have to keep the person in mind. I think that's is key, because we all know it, you know what I mean? And lean has done that so well in terms of getting people engaged in their work and making a contribution to it. And I think the same could be said for, we need to be concerned about digitalization and stuff like that, where before you might have somebody who's writing on a board, you know what I mean? Now it's all coming on a digital screen and that, and I think there can be a loss of ownership in that, you know. So look, I don't have the answer, but what I would say is you have to bring the people with you in every step. And again, we talked about it earlier, that psychological safety, so that people don't fear it, you know what I mean? I think that's really, really important.
Noel, thank you so much for the 12 questions. Thank you for coming into us. This is the end of our very first session in these 12 question interview series. We are going to have some more. Please check us out on meetup.com and on LinkedIn. We are the Southeast Lean Network, and chat to everyone soon.
Thank you.